Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord. So, Braves get pummeled in Game 3. That should be the storyline. The storyline should be Snicker is an idiot, like we just talked about for about 15 minutes. That should be the only storyline that matters. But, of course, the national media doesn't care about legitimate storylines. They care about BS, which is what they created, this whole narrative between Orlando Arcia, the Braves' worst player, and the Phillies' best player. Like, it's just so dumb. And Arcia was said, attaboy, like, after an emotional win. Like, why is that even a story? Because is that even trash talk? I mean, I literally say worst thing to my grandmother at the dinner table. Like, also, like, if there's not a little trash talk during the NLDS, like, what are we doing here? Like, these are two rivals. There's so many things that I need to unpack because so many takes are just wrong. But the national media has to put this out there as this big thing and turn it into, oh, Orlando Arcia said this, so Bryce Harper hit 2 homers. Buddy, Orlando Arcia could have sent Bryce Harper a gift basket with a love note 365 days out of the year. And if Bryce Harper hangs that cookie over the middle of the plate, Bryce Harper would have hit that dang thing out blindfolded. It had nothing to do with, oh, he was a little pissed off. I mean, bro, listen, Bryce Harper's a stud. Big-time players do big-time things in big-time games, and he continuously does it. It's just a matter of the time before them, and I hate to say it, the Phillies win a World Series because they got a guy like that on the team. He just does big-time things. Reminds me a lot of Yordan Alvarez. They just show up so much bigger than – and it's hard to say so much bigger than what they are because he is so good naturally, but they're bigger than even who they are. They go from superstar to like this god. He does this no matter what if you hang the ball over the middle of the plate like that. It's just – to create this narrative. And listen, I understand why Bryce Harper stared at Orlando Arcia because you know who that galvanizes more than anyone? Your team. So I don't even think it was as much him talking trash as him letting his team know, let's go, I got this. And so I love everything Bryce Harper did, and I understand why he did it. But Orlando Arcia didn't do anything wrong. He's not a bad guy. He did exactly what he should have been doing. He's celebrating the clubhouse. Like, yeah, maybe there should be some sanctity of the clubhouse, and this shouldn't have gotten out. But even if it did, I wish he had said something worse. Like, who cares? Like, this is the playoffs. Getting a little pissed off is not going to help or hurt the other team. It shouldn't. Like, Bryce Harper's hitting those balls out no matter what. I do question, do Bryce Elder and Brad Hand hate Orlando Arcia? Because they sure as hell didn't help him out from looking like an idiot, right? Just hanging those cookies over the middle of the plate. But this is a non-story that turned into a story because because the national media likes to make things out of nothing. But it's just absurd to me.
I've got a few different takes on this. One, that picture of Bryce Harper rounding second, staring at Orlando Arcia it's the hardest picture I've seen in a very long time.
It did something to me, and I'm not even a Phillies fan.
I hate the Phillies. I'm sad that it happened to my Braves, but that is a hard picture. Bryce Harper is sick. I mean, listen, I hate that he's on the Phillies. I love the player who he is. Big-time guy. I love Bryce Harper. It just sucks that he's doing it to my team. So I have no problem with all of that, And I do think there's so many different parts of this story that are true. It is a non-story. Attaboy Harper. The guy can't speak English. That's probably all he could say that, these guys in the locker room could pick up. Secondly, It isn't, trash talk. I have said much worse in my life, and I'm sure these guys have as well. But the greats like Bryce Harper take just even the non-stories and turn it into something. With that being said, he's hitting that meatball, and that's what it was. It was a meatball, right? A slider just hung out to the moon. He was going to hit that to the moon regardless of the situation, regardless of this. It had nothing to do with Orlando Arcia. And with that being said, the locker room should be a sanctuary. You shouldn't be held accountable for the things that you say in a locker room. With that being said, this is the playoffs. There's media, there's microphones, there's cameras. You got to know what you say could potentially end up out there. And the last thing I have to say, Travis d'Arnaud, I've seen it more than anybody, who's still talking about this as if it is a story. Guys, we're in a do-or-die situation. Our backs are against the wall. Let's stop worrying about that. Maybe puff our chest out a little bit and, maybe show some life. Hearts and nuts. What'd we say, AJ Minter, after that game too? It's time to maybe step up and stop talking about a non-story. I know they're asking the questions, but it's a very Bill Belichick response. This is what you should say. You know, we lost tonight. Credit to Bryce Harper. He's a great player. Our focus is on game 4, not game 3. That's all you got to say. Now we look like babies. That's what it looks like. And the Braves fans who are continually fighting this stuff, who cares? Are you kidding me? You guys look like wimps. Tail tuckers.
They care more about this than the actual result of the series, whether he said this or not. And he even admitted that he said it, so we can all put this all to bed. Whether it got out, it didn't. But like, who cares? Like, I genuinely wish he would have said something worse. I wish he would have said something about Bryce Harper's mom. Like, I really would. I wish it was some genuine trash talk, because
I need some bad blood.
This wasn't even trash talk. And listen, Matt Olson actually had the same question right to him after the game, and he deflected it. He was like, "Oh, that's not something we're going to talk about. You know, it's whatever." And then went to, game 4. But yeah, I agree. Like Travis D'Arnaud, first of all, he sits there looking like he's crying. I know that's just the way he looks, but he just looked like a sad little puppy sitting there. It's like, buddy, we got a series to win, and you got your best pitcher on the mound, and you got the best offense in baseball. And I know they haven't played like the best offense in baseball, but it's never too late until the season's over to wake up. It's never too late until the season's over to wake up. I agree. I would have started talking more trash. I mean, who cares at this point? Like, whatever lights a fire into your team, like, I don't care what it is, but I can guarantee you talking about, oh, the media did this to me, that ain't going to do anything. That ain't going to do anything. You know, talk a little bit more trash. Say Harper's a great player, but we're coming back and we're going to win this series. We're going to win game 4 and we're going to win game 5. We got confidence in Spencer Strider. I don't care what you say. I don't need you looking like a sad puppy over there. I don't need you looking like a sad puppy. No one feels bad for you. Nobody feels bad for the way you're playing. I can tell you that. People are laughing at you outside of the city, and people inside of the city do not like you. So do not win it for us, because guess what? I am going to wake up on Friday or on Sunday, whenever the series ends, and I'm going to be totally fine. I am. Like, it'll hurt for a day. I'm going to be all right. Win for yourselves, man, because we want to see you reach the pinnacle of the game. Show some life. Do this for yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. Like, I don't know what you need. I don't know what you need to say. Go ahead.
I don't know what they need. They were tomahawk chopping in the bank, mocking you guys. We want Strider. They are mocking you guys, and they're mocking us. I'm a fan of this team. I'm riding and dying with this team, but they are mocking you. Let's show a little bit of fight, just a little bit of fight. I don't care where it comes from. It could come from somebody on the bench or our superstar pitcher, Spencer Strider. Somebody's got to show me something, someone.
Yeah, I mean, it really is that simple. Like, I don't know what to say. They're lucky they're in this situation. We're lucky we're even talking about this series as going into it. And I don't want to say lucky's not the fair word, because they did man up at the end of game 2. They did show some life. And then you go get punched in the mouth. And that's where I go through the whole Brian Snitker thing. He also needs to understand that you have momentum carried over for game 2. You can't let that slip away and let him get a 3-4 you can't let them get a 3-4-5 run inning there. You just can't. That momentum is a big part of this game. All of a sudden the bank's rocking. They have a big lead. Now you're fighting back. You're starting to be like, can we do this? Aaron Nola's comfortable on the mound. That's another big reason why I hated the whole Brian Snitker situation. But these guys gotta punch up and let's go. Like, you got to stop. These you can't play the sad puppy media card when you win 104 games and you're playing the worst baseball that you played all year against a team that just knocked you out last year and is mocking you in their stadium and laughing at you. That is what they are doing. You are a laughing stock right now, but you got 2 games to fix it. Let's see what they can do. We are going to discuss those 2 games coming up after the break.